Hey everyone, I hope everyone is having a great new year so far. Yesterday, I popped on here to talk to you guys about the inevitable obstacles that you're going to meet when you are setting new intentions, setting new goals, or just starting a new year in general. So, today, I wanted to talk a little bit about motivation. This is a topic that has been hot with my clients and students over the last couple of weeks. And what I have found is most of them are highly surprised that I do not stay motivated all the time. So I wanted to share some tips and tricks to keep your motivation on fire. Now, it's really easy this time of year to just pop up and be motivated, to remember those goals, to remember those intentions, to remember the things that you want to accomplish this year. But we all know from past experience that motivation can die really quickly. Again, going back to yesterday, talking about those obstacles get in your way, we face challenges, we face resistance, and then we just start to let the motivation go to the wayside and sort of start to check out and inevitably a lot of times start back where we are right now. So I think about all the time, how many times have you guys bought new running shoes and you were super excited to go running, and then you did it for a couple of times and you realized that running was still hard and those shoes didn't make it any better? That's kind of what our new year is for us. It's just some new gadget that we think is going to make everything so much better. But then we realize that the thing is still hard. If the thing wasn't hard, we would have done it a long time ago. We would have stuck with it and we wouldn't be setting these new goals and resolutions right now. So a lot of my clients are really surprised when I made some comments a couple of weeks ago. I've been working on some new programming. We're launching this new app. We've had so many things going on, and that I was struggling to find the motivation to get my own workout in. I spend so much time programming and playing with moves for clients that I still have to make time for myself, and I still have to take care of myself, and I still have to fill my own cup. But the motivation is not always there. So I have learned over the years to make some adjustments to be able to stay more motivated and keep myself going into that direction. So here's my tips for that. The first tip is going to be a little basic, but a little obnoxious. And that is to be really clear on your why. A lot of times I see people make all these goals and these intentions at a new year, but their why is not strong enough. And the reason that is they're making goals and resolutions based on someone else's why. So based on something that someone suggested to them, based on advertising, based on social media. How many times have you started a new diet or fitness program because you saw advertising around the new year and that looked really shiny and really good, and you decided to make that your goal for that year, only to realize a month in that your why just wasn't strong enough? So personally, I hope that you have a strong why around personal health and fitness, whether it be for, you can do it for your children. You can do it to feel better. There's all kinds of reasons that you can do it, but you have to have a strong why. And doing it because your mom told you to, or because you saw some Instagram ad, is not really going to equate to that why. So the why is something that resonates really personally to you on a deep, deep, deep level. So those days that you do meet those obstacles, that you have a strong enough why to say, no, these obstacles don't matter. This is really important to me. So being really clear on that why is a great source of motivation. Going back to the running shoes analogy, having some brand new running shoes isn't a strong enough why to continue running those miles. You have to have a why of why you want to show up, why you want to lace up the shoes, and why you want to keep going. It's the same with nutrition. So many people start, January 1, I'm not going to eat this, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do this, but why? Is it because you want to lose weight? Okay, great, but why do you want to lose weight? So just checking in with the why goes really, really deep. And so if your why is really superficial, then when those obstacles hit you hard, then you're not going to stay with it. So being really clear on your why is a great source of motivation. The second source of motivation is understanding how you're wired. Now, this is not something that you're going to figure out overnight if you don't already know. This takes time. This takes trials. This takes failure. This takes, trying different things. So for me, I know that my motivation is highest in the morning. So when it comes to working out or fitness or anything like that, I know that I'm going to be most motivated and most likely to succeed if I get it done in the morning. Around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I just start to completely check out. Motivation is gone. Quite honestly, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm just working towards bedtime. So my motivation is highest then, and I know that. So staying with that, I recognize that if I let it get past 3 o'clock in the afternoon, then I'm going to struggle. So then I have to check back into that why. If for some reason after 3 o'clock is the best I can do that day, I have to be really strong in the why in order to keep my motivation up and to keep going. So know how you're wired. Some people are more motivated in the evening, and that's great. So if you have that goal or that intention, just pencil out time in your schedule. This is when I'm going to do this thing because I know that my motivation and my energy is at its best. So knowing your why, knowing how you're wired. And the third thing is to do it anyway. So how are you going to do the thing if you're struggling with motivation when motivation is what you need to do the thing? That's a little bit more challenging, but what I'm going to tell you is you're not going to recognize the benefits or see the results if you don't keep going. So whether it is establishing a meditation practice, maybe it is spending more time outside, maybe it is a yoga practice, some nutrition adjustments, or a strength training program. When you start a new thing, it's inevitably going to be hard. We've already talked about the obstacles. Now we're worried about the motivation, but recognizing and being honest with yourself that it's going to be hard. It's not always going to be easy. Those running shoes are not always going to be shiny and new is really important in building that motivation to keep going. So we know that we get results based on a compound effect. So keeping that momentum going, we stack, and that's how we achieve results. Essentially, that's how we're going to create these habits. We're going to understand the results that we're going to get. We're going to understand how we feel about the action and keep going from there. And that in itself is going to help create the motivation. So if you are starting an exercise program for the first time and you start to recognize those endorphins and how you feel after, the energy levels, the change in your mood, all the positive effects of working out, then you're more likely to find that motivation to keep going. If you're looking towards weight loss, if you keep going, you're going to start to see results. And so when you start to see results, then that in itself is motivating to keep going. So we have to know why we're doing the thing. We have to know when it's going to be most efficient and most effective to do the thing. And we have to do the thing. Those are my 3 top tips for building and maintaining motivation and momentum in the coming year. Know your why. Make it a strong one. Know how you're wired. When's the best time to do the thing? And then you have to do it in order to see and feel the results, to create the momentum, and to keep that motivation established and rolling throughout the year. So as you're getting started in this new year, whatever it is that you're out to do, I hope this was helpful in establishing that motivation and to keep yourself going. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys soon.